Am I free to go?
I want my lawyer now.
I want a lawyer right now.
Mr. Nolan, it's for you. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law. Hi, everybody. This is not a typical windshield time. I'm recording this in my office where I don't have a windshield. But I wanted to do a little quick update today, even though I have another video coming out tomorrow and we just did one yesterday. But the dispensary, the medical marijuana dispensary facility license list was released. Now, this is going to indicate, well, it indicates to me that we're going to have additional litigation on the subject. Okay? For example, when you look in the 1st Congressional District, under the approved licenses, okay, your first denial has a score of 1549.09. And that is Tricep Wellness LLC. The location was supposed to be at 4910 Natural Bridge Avenue, St. Louis. Now, we don't know why they were denied. I would assume that they will know. But with a score that is that high and well within the approval range, why they were denied becomes an issue. Is it a scoring issue? Is it a minimum qualification issue? They didn't meet the minimum qualification. How did they score so highly? They scored fairly well. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Now, then you have another approval, and the next approval is Holistic Missouri, and they're supposedly going to be on South Euclid. And that was followed by another 2 denials at 1533.28 each. They're both for B-Leaf Medical, 2 locations in St. Louis. Followed by more approvals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 approvals, ranging from 1528.32 all the way down to 1497.91. Then another denial, and that's Como Health, that was set to open on Page Avenue. And then a final approval, Growing Jobs Missouri LLC, 1463 South Van Deventer Avenue. So, those 4 denials in the 1st Congressional District, when there were approvals that had a lower score, those businesses are going to have a valid concern. Why were they denied? What was the reason for the denial? Is this an arbitrary, was it a capricious decision? Is there a valid support for that? There may well be lawsuits from any of these people that were denied when people who did not score as highly as them were approved for a license. And fortunately, this list, the 12 pages, is split up by congressional district. Okay? Now, I'm guessing that one of the reasons for the denial is that B-Leaf was approved in other congressional districts. Now remember, you have a limitation of how many licenses you can have. So B-Leaf was approved for a dispensary in the 2nd Congressional District. Ironically, their score there was 1609.14. I would assume that most of the content of their license was the same. However, the score for this one was considerably higher than the score for the one that was rejected. We'd have to look into why. And without getting into the questionable parts of the formula, where they are adding in for economic distress and jobs and things like that, that's where we're going to see variations that, quite frankly, appear to be unfair. Now, in the 2nd Congressional District, the approved list is approved, then they've got a ton of denials. They don't have the approved, denial, approved going on. So, what that means, and frankly, I think it means that there's going to be litigation in these. When you come into the 3rd District, right there you've got GTI Missouri with a denial, and they have the 4th highest score in the 3rd District. Again, why were they denied? Well, possibly they were disqualified for a number of reasons. We don't know. But we do know that they have multiple applications in. They might have hit the maximum number of licenses. And if that's the case, that's a denial that you can understand, and frankly, they probably won't care about. But if they were denied because of ownership percentage, if they were denied because of, any other arbitrary reason, there may well be an action in court on that. Now, and I don't have any specific knowledge about GTI, so please don't read it that way. Then you have Nature's Med, Mo. They're in Fulton. They were denied. We don't know why. GTI here, again, denied for Jeff City. And in the 3rd District, there's staggered. There are a lot of approved and denied intermixed. So you've got denials that are well over 1,500 in their score, and you've got approvals that are down at 1,472. And we don't have an explanation as to why that is. Really, DHSS needs to be a little bit more forthcoming on these. When you come into the 4th Circuit, again, you have, or 4th District, you have the same thing. There's a denial, SSSPB LLC in Gravois Mills. Their score is 161298. I mean, that's one of the highest scores that's gotten rejected. So you have to look at why. Why did they get rejected? And the answer is we just don't know. Now, I'm in the 6th Congressional District. I will say Kirksville has had 4. The city of Kirksville, Little Kirksville, has had 4 dispensaries conditionally approved. Now, the conditional approval means they are still going to have to go and they're going to have to meet the requirements and have a final inspection before they can actually open for business. I think that a large number of the places that have been approved, and by large number, we'll probably see 15 to 25 of these aren't going to survive the first year, just because they're not going to have the capital, they're not going to have the experience running a business, they're going to have issues. And it may be even more than that. When they approve 4 for Kirksville, that's going to be a problem. We will now have an equal number of pharmacies as dispensaries. I don't know. I'd be concerned about them overwhelming the markets in some areas. Now, Macon got one. That's good. Macon is a large enough community. It probably deserves a dispensary in and of its own. But most of the out-county areas didn't. Trenton didn't. So most of true northern Missouri is dispensary-less. You've got Kirksville, and then you're running all the way over. I'm looking at the actual graphical display on the map. When it comes to the top of the state, Kirksville is the highest northern spot. So if you are from the state line, the Iowa state line, 29, you are dispensary-less until you get to St. Joseph. Okay? That's going to be a hell of a drive. Same thing. If you're in Eagleville, you're dispensary-less. You got to drive, it looks like, all the way down to Gallatin or Cameron. And in case you haven't been following the Jamie Wilson case, Gallatin's probably not exactly going to be a friendly spot to go to. Beyond, as you come over to the east side of the state, you've got Kirksville, Chillicothe, Macon, Hannibal. So if you're up in the northeast corner, Memphis, Cahokia, you've got to drive. But then we have Kirksville, Macon, Moberly, all have dispensaries. Looks like Moberly has 2. So that's, I don't know, Little Moberly needs 2. I mean, at least Kirksville is a regional hub. I don't want to insult Moberly. Maybe maybe they are a regional hub. Moberly is a much bigger city than it appears when you drive in. As you drive through on 63, it looks really small. If you get off the exit where the Super Center is and Lowe's are, it looks like all their shopping's right in that one area, but there's actually a lot more to Moberly. So that maybe there is the justification for it. But yeah, when you look at it, it doesn't appear to make sense in the northern part of the state. And then, the population centers in the southern part. Springfield is swimming in dispensaries, but they didn't put one into Marshfield. They don't have anything in Bolivar or Buffalo. They're going to have one in Humansville. So if you're in Bolivar, a much larger town, you may have to drive up to Humansville, which is the size of your average high school homeroom. So God, who knows? Who knows? A lot of these places aren't going to make it. They're in the wrong areas, and there are too many of them close together. They're not going to be properly capitalized, and then we still don't even know when they're going to be able to have marijuana to them, much less when they're going to be able to sell. Remember, cultivation facilities are going to have to come online before the dispensaries can come online. Cultivation facilities are going to be the big dollar investments. They're going to have everything ready to go. They're going to have to meet the EPA guidelines. They're going to have to meet the smell guidelines. They're going to have to meet everything that's required. And before they can ship any product to the dispensary, our testing facilities will have to be up and running. Again, they're going to have to be ready to go. And the seed-to-sale tracking system will have to be up and running. And oh, by the way, we have to have transport capability. All the entire infrastructure has to come up before the dispensary can do a damn thing. So the dispensaries are going to be doing their build out. They may even be hiring their staff, and then they're going to be sitting. So if they are not properly capitalized, they're going to have problems. You're looking at 6 months of rent without a single thing to sell. So those are issues. They're going to be paying for their security and setting all that up. For the people that have dispensaries, if you have questions on business, things like that, talk to business experts. Hell, we have helped a few people with their planning and their business expertise. My team included an MBA. I will tell you that of the 4 people we worked for licenses, 2 of them opted not to submit before the actual filing, and 1 of the 2 got a license and 1 did not. So we're batting 50%. Now, can I tell you exactly why? No. Even if I had it nailed down right at this point to say this is why we didn't get a license, I cannot disclose that to you because while we performed more of a business management function for them, I am still a licensed attorney and bound by confidentiality. So this is going to be interesting going forward. Best of luck to the people that got their license. Please manage your businesses frugally, manage them intelligently, and if you have questions, talk to your accountant, talk to your attorney, talk to business professionals. If you don't have a team with proper advisors, lawyer, accountant, an MBA, if you don't have people like that on your team to advise you, to counsel you, put together that team. So that is what I have on this. The licenses are out. Congratulations, people that got them. Look for the litigation. There's going to be quite a bit of it coming up. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.